What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hope you like that little intro there. Let's bring it back old school, because that's what we're talking about. That's what World Tank Blitz was and still is. And, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're seeing all these streamers talking about who's the best streamer and all this stuff. But let's talk about some facts here. Let's talk about some facts. Something that's really never said or to be, you know, be truthful about it. Now, we all know that, we have streamers that are, you know, um, saying that Bliss is dying, but are they explaining why? You guys get all these kind of mixed reviews and all these kind of mixed signs, and then you got Doodles, and then you got all these other guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's put a good example of what I am talking about. All right, well, let's go over to YouTube. So what's his name? SOB, he made a video about, players. But let's look at players and what he called, who they represent and who they're talking about. Now, not so long ago, we had, streamers like this guy, streaming for NA server. Okay. Now, this is an important factor, guys, because it's going to explain a lot about these kind of scams and cheating tactics, players that don't belong in the NA server, false information, false, what do you call it, advertisement on a game that's talking about different servers and streamers that have been playing on different servers, especially Doodles. And, you got your Flossy and all them. Now, Flossie and Doodles, I think they're Canadian by heart or something like that. They're not American made like, Berserker is. That one true, person from the NA server that started out in the NA server, then make an account to jump on every different server just to see how it was. No. What it was is that back then we had, streamers. And, this is one thing that I give respect about the Russian, German, what I mean, all them, EU server streamers. This is one thing I give respect about them. They stream about the way their side, their country, the way they're playing, the way they're doing it. What I mean? I don't see any kind of other streamer, if they are streaming on the NA server. I haven't seen that yet, but most players stream on the EU server and they stick to the EU server because they can't talk English. Now you get players that are from the NA server, right? That are not even in from the American Legion area. These are streamers that are, how would you say, streaming about a place or a continent the way they don't know about. They don't, they only associate by what he called Discord with American server players. This is the kind of information that we're getting. This is what bothers me. This is why I call it fake. Every player that's in the NA server, which is bringing down the NA server, is because of this open server technique that what he called wargaming has made, and this is what's bringing the game down. I'm sorry, but this is facts, guys. Now you got Peter. Peter is from the EU, all right, originally, okay? But now he streams on the NA because everybody says it's a connection. But if people can start streaming and sticking to their own things, because each server has a different group of players, the way they play. And the only reason why they don't play in their own server, which makes the NA server a bad server to play, and it congestions is with nothing but ghost accounts. Now, Doodles came out asking, "Oh, what's a ghost account?" Like he's never ever heard about a ghost account. Doodles, okay? Doodles, I don't know, whatever his name is. But that kid, I don't know, he's 21, but he acts like a kid, so he's like, he says about this stuff. I'm gonna say it like this: he's a good kid. You know what I mean? I got nothing bad to say about him. He does his own stream his way, and that's what I like about him. And there's a bunch of other players, streamers that I like, but they stream on a contribution of players from different servers playing into the NA server. Now, does that make it fair or unfair? I say it makes it unfair for a bunch of different players out there that are thinking that they're going into their own NA server with a bunch of American players talking American. Okay? And not infiltrating like different players from different servers, which makes it, conflict of interest because you got players that know each other from different continents. Now, when we have a pro tournament, is it a pro tournament or is it players that just know each other and playing with each other? You know what I mean? I mean, these are the questions that you got to ask yourself, and then you look at the play status on the way the game is going. Now, the way the game is going, it's going so crooked that not even the streamers are wanting to stream. Not Bushka, not nobody, because it's not about team playing no more. It's about stream, it's about seal clubbing, teams, clans, and it got cluttered with it. And everybody knows what a ghost account is. Players have them in this account in this ENA server, and it went out, it branched out to different servers. And that's one thing why a bunch of players are getting tired to play this, because most players that have so little battles in an account doesn't make sense how they're playing with players with so many battles under their account, and then they're going to call out that it's a skill issue, and furthermore it's just a freaking tactical issue, showing players using accounts with less battles and less, what do you call it, experience in the account. Now, Wargaming made it clear a long time ago, but then they keep on changing the theory and the gameplay. And that's what makes it difficult for players to understand how to play this game. Now, you have streamers saying that this is the way you're supposed to play it, and this is what we're supposed to be doing. But you know what, honestly, every player that I've seen play this type of battle has already said that the game is not suitable at any kind of way except for scamming players while playing the game. It's a known fact. Players know about it and they see it. And what's sad about it is that none of these players are active. And then they want to see that this is a fair gameplay, which is not. You know what I mean? So you have players that know each other on both sides. They're not even playing. They're just giving positions away. If Wargaming was to have any kind of consideration in playing with a skilled, players, the ability to, have the game and keep it, but they don't have it. Because these are scam battles. These battles are designed that players know each other, knowing the fact that they know each other. And this proves the fact of, cheating tactics, cheating rigged battles. This is not skill. This is not nothing. This is just players that know each other that are point sharing with each other. That's all this is. There was not one spotter except for our team spotting all players, all enemies on one side, and then they're not contributing to a team battle match. None of them are moving or nothing like that. They're just giving the game away. They're tying up the match. So this is in category, guys, is what's the problem? You got players from different servers not contributing into their own server and dialecting a sort of pro game in their own server with a bunch of players. But no, what do you got? You got bunches of streamers streaming on the NA server trying to bring the game back up instead of streaming the games in their own server in the EU. Now, why isn't that boosted? Why don't streamers do that? Why don't they show what server they're streaming their skills on? You know why they don't? Because they don't want to show that in certain servers that players know each other, that they could rig the battles just the same way as they do it on the NA server. And the only how and the way they do it is by players whenever they go into the NA server, because you're allowed to make an account for if you're in the EU server, you can make an account on the NA server, you can make an account on the Asia server and check them out. You know what I mean? It's facts. They open it up like that. Just like the trade war, games are going down. No other game has done it except for wargaming, and now you see the consequences. There was no direction by any streamer of what server they were representing. Black Label's Berserker, has always streamed the NA server and has streamed and shown you by video of how it started and when it started going down. And the other player can vouch the amount of battles that they have on their game or on their account to show the experience of each account. Now you got accounts that are ghost accounts, that are players that have played before, that have made these secondary accounts that are rigging these type of battles. And that's where it's all coming down. And then now you got wargaming, which is another cheap scam tactic that they're trying to unleash on a game that they well know that is going to be bringing what we call scams, even more scams to these games. You'll see by far these things by far, and it's not in the interest of, because if it was, then it would have been a separate.
One of our troops is gone. We can't move. You're shot.
You know what I mean? So it's not that they're trying. They're not trying. What wargaming is doing is completely illegal.
You're shot.
That are involved in all these schemes and scams. And this is something that wargaming has not fixed or is not going to fix because they still need to make.
We just sting them.
Even if they try to, it's just it's of even having a chance to save its life, because you have players what you call mimicking and going in the same direction as they're going. Now, this is something that players going into serving. You know what I mean? Players help scams. And it's only going to get worse. None of these players are showing. Notice rigging these games and scamming players.
Penetration!
It's up to you, the players,
We didn't even scratch them!
more better for
Got him! Enemy armor is damaged.
and it's stuff like this that's ruining the game when you have team battles it's a simple mathematics guys. All players in one involves more skill and more accuracy while playing the game. It's just simple facts and simple mathematics. The game's math has been so far off, even doodles have been accepting those. It's simple math. It's true. I vouch for what you say. It is a fact.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
On and I'm gonna say on the making of the account, the amount of battles a tank has for a percentage, even skill wise, and then you got players that are giving up games just like what he experienced too. It's not that hard to experience. That's why a lot of players have been stopped. You know what I mean? And like I said, for him, he's getting the only reason why he has that percentage is because he's been having help throughout the whole entire time that he's been complaining about the game. And I don't want that shit. I don't need it. I don't want it. I got the same most damage in a battle of a player, average damage per battle. I don't give a shit because you know what? We see players that are rigging the games, not being active, and then you go to other streamers that they know and they love only because of the extra work that they're doing, you know what I mean? But representing a false identity of a game, of a server. Why? Because these are players that are jumping into different servers, not giving you a perfect example of what one server is, and they haven't done it for one straight year or a couple of years. They've only do it because they go into the NA server because they get paid off for it. And it's giving a bad, what do you call it, recognition on the game. It has a no direction policy. No direction. None whatsoever. I mean, it's sick. And then they want to say that these are good streamers. Yeah, if you want to have facts, let's show facts. How many streamers are in the EU server that are on the YouTube channel? There's more servers, there's more players in the EU server that belong in the EU that are streaming for the NA. But they belong in the EU. And then they got so many Asia servers streaming on the EU because of a connection problem. Now that sounds like false advertisement to me. And that's what makes the whole game a joke, even the players. Because the players not even knowing that. I've been saying this for a long time. That's why I say all players and all the game is rigged. Because you got foreign players playing in a NA server that are rigging the policies of the game, breaking the rules. Now the rules change. Now the rules go back to the same way. Now they're putting an AI system. Do you see the downfall of it? Then you got the 2.0 what do you call it, maintenance, and then you got the 5.0, the 6.0, the 7.0, the 5.3, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? All these maintenances that they've done, and what it has that helped? Nothing. It has not fixed nothing. Not the play style. Since 2015, players had gotten the advantage of creating secondary accounts in the NA server. And they had the privilege of creating multiple accounts in the NA server. But you don't hear them talking about the EU server. Where are the players from the EU server? Where are the English speaking players for the Asia server? I don't see any. They're only playing in the NA server. So it's a bunch of false advertising, skilled battles from a bunch of skilled club players that are trying to give you a false analogy on the game. That's your downfall. The streamers that have made that show low battles and then beginning videos of streaming battles that they configure by their own stream club members. You know what I mean? So it really, there's no skill involved. It's just, hey, you know what? You're in the enemy side. Okay, if I'm in the enemy side, let me get on my Discord and I'll let you know where everybody's going. You know what I mean? There's no skill
Let's
involved in
go!
that. There's no polish. There's nothing like that. That's what's the downfall of the game. The people have seen it. They've spoken. And even Bushcom Blitz has even spoken too. He's not going to play that much because the game has gone kapoots. Kapoots. It's got shit by the players. And even Bushcom's players. He saw the shit. And he stopped streaming this. That's the truth. A man does not give up a game and he's having fun. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. A man, only way a man's going to give up a game, especially one that's making money out of it, is going to be a man that sees no good intentions of playing and listening and the game company not banning players. And that's facts. Those are facts to the team to where like these players are doing this.
Nice shot!
And it's ruining all these players thinking that it's okay to start doing these sister clans and bigger games. They are the ones that are ruining it. So you could see how it ruins the game and how bad it kind of brought down the game because of players like this. It's these are the things that bring down the game. Clans that belong to each other, that know each other, without even spotting where the players are going. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. Look at him. He knows I'm coming, and he's moving out of the way. It's
Penetration!
simple mathematics. Not one spot of the game exactly. Explain to me how is that? Where the team battles at? Now, one player coming in the middle, only all players that come into the game you get me?
Don't stop! We've lost the track! Enemy armor is damaged! We've lost the track! We're immobilized!
And where's
Punched right through their armor! Vehicle destroyed!
they're all on top. That's crazy, man. So you could see how much of non-team battles wargaming has involved. You could see how players are starting to show themselves, and these are players from the EU server, from the Asia server, from different servers that are coming into the ENA server that are ruining the game. Now, this is something that wargaming is gonna slowly dying this game, tank game, because the other one is coming out. The only ones that are gonna be left are the only ones that are gonna be like investing in the game, having more than the other, and then it's gonna be nothing but fake. It's gonna be what do you call colonized?
Let's
Like
get
it's gonna
this
be
show on the
rigged.
road!
It's gonna be so rigged where every new player's gonna think it's normal. That's how it's gonna be, and then the game's gonna get successful. But right now they fucked up because they, you know, like I said, they messed up with the community. They messed up in not being truthful. Look at, and then they're not really caring about the game as much as you can see. good players that are helping. You know what I mean? Moving and scene. Let's go blitz. Mm. So that's the problem, guys. And that's why I support that this game is rigged all the time because you got players. The NA server does not have even a skill level player that belongs to the NA server. Now we got mixed players that are they were from Canada, now they moved to the US. You know what I mean? And they still don't represent their own EU server. So yeah, it gives you a brighter aspect of how bad the game is and how much it's falsely advertised. So, you know, in all reality, the game itself is always going to be behind because players are not they're not adapting to the fact of team playing. Everybody wants to what do you call it be in the seal club and be noticed and stuff like that, which is stupid. Instead of creating a new skill for the game to grow, for players to observe and to copy, like make fun of me, playing in snipe, which is stupid. Everybody, I mean, I thought the whole object of a skill level base play was to have your own what do you call it, tactics. You know what I mean? To use that common knowledge of new tactics in the game. You know what I mean? Those are the things that we were told to do, but now players don't do them. Why? Because it's just so rigged that players are not used to it. Players are just always rigged battles.
Wir haben sie voll erwischt. Kette beschädigt.
See that? Even though I spotted, right? Everybody knows where the enemy's at. Everybody can take advantage of these. And this guy knows exactly where I'm at. He went when I'm not even spotted, guys. Okay? I wasn't even spotted. So what does that tell you? You know what I mean? It doesn't even spell it for me. Damn. Point sharing scams. Look at that. All players, all 7 players point sharing with each other, all in the game, guys. Within all in the game, guys. This is just true facts right here. This is just perfect. All, all we could have. There could have been players survived all that stuff, and all you saw was players point sharing throughout the whole entire game. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. The whole entire game point sharing. Look at that. 23, 2023, man. Wow. Wargaming, you're doing a great job, Wargaming. Look at these battles. Players doing weird shit. Man, this is great, man. Did you see that? They knew exactly where we were at, came and just without even spotting us knew where exactly all players were at. That's just such a great game. Woo! I'm having fun. Are you? I wonder why this game is not doing so good. Man, I mean, I don't know. Am I was I making it up or are we just seeing it now? I don't know. This must be brand new. I mean, players never done this before.
It's new to you?
Yeah, it's new. This is all new.
Oh.
I've never seen this. Wow. This is awesome. I got players that know each other on both sides again. 4 players out of 5 players on the enemy side that know each other. Wow. Great job, Wargaming. This is awesome. See what kind of point sharing scams we get involved in this one. Look at these guys. Move, fucker. You're making it noticeable. Yeah, girlfriend. I just like it from the back. I don't know. Berserker's here, black level. He has his black underwear on. Oh. You see, and he's like, you stupid ass. You see, shoot you in the ass. You fucking ignorant fuck. And then so all these guys right here, the guy in the back over there, he's like, man, you ruined the game. Look at that. Fucking 791223S sucks. He's like, damn it, they fucking ruined the game now. And then this 71T71 is just giving the game away like always. Seeing players. Look at that point sharing, just barely going into the game. Yep. Great one, Wargaming. I'm having fun. This is great. Can we do this again? Look at that. Wow. This is so cool. Look at players know exactly where we're at. Wow. This is awesome. Here. Let's let's uh let's uh let's surround them. Let's give the game. Look here. Let's let everybody surround us. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Look at that. Look at that. This is sad, man. Sad. Look at the players. Non-active, cheating tactics, gameplay of the year, a cheating scam of World of Tank Blitz. Oh, look at how pretty. Now let me get blown up over here. Oh, oh. Here, let's take care of this guy. Let's just go and, let's give him a couple of whackings. See if I could hit his fire. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. We can't have that. Oh, 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 we got that. Oh, did we get it? We got it. Yes, sir, we got it. Here comes his girlfriend to help. Hold on, but let me advise him to mm, mm, oh man, this is hilarious, dude.
So new.
Huh? I know. Look at it. You see that? How my team gave away the game? They just gave away the game. Look at that. All in a circle, huddled together, and me just using my own skills without relying on anybody, and everybody against Black Label is exposed on a game that Wargaming says that they don't do. Wow. What a rigged company scams we're seeing here, people. This is live. Like Doodle says, well, um, I'm like 76%, and like, I do it all myself. Yeah, bro. Sure you do. Yeah. Uh-huh. You're making money out of it, bro. All right. Calm down. You're only 21 and you barely could buy beer, bud. All right. Drink a Pabst beer and, take a seat. All right. Let's expose what really is going on. All right. Let's just expose it, let's just show what really happens, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, oh, see that, guys? But hey, you know what? It's cool. I mean, hey, haters hate, they're gonna hate. But that's like I said, that's why when you have players from the NA server trying to get knowledge, you have a non streamer that's an original NA server player. You got all these EU server players that are streaming on the EU platform using a computer, not their mobile like me. I'm using a mobile phone all the time. All my streams have been on a mobile phone, not on a PC, because you know what? It says World of Tank Blitz mobile tournaments playing other players that have a mobile phone. Do you see the agony in that? I wonder. I wonder why Blitz is going down. Maybe because it's people like Doodles and Peter and all them playing on a false identity in a Blitz community of the NA server. Maybe that is it. Maybe they don't stick to their own, and maybe, come up with stuff in their own and show their own EU server or their own server in that case, you know? So, in that said, guys, it's easy to see that we get players that are highly involved in giving you guys not the platform that you need, but a false platform that is ruining the game. It is ruining the game by in so many degrees that players are not really liking making a liking to it because of the false identity that it's giving players. Now, if it wasn't giving players this false identity, then we wouldn't have these problems. But we do have these problems, and it's more of players not see contributing within the game. He's not helping this guy that needs help. You know what I mean? What happened to that guy? Let's go help him. And then this player knows where I'm at, so he knows without me getting spotted. He's not willing to give the game away, his game away for Riku win. Do you see players doing that? No. What you see are players holding back, not moving in sync. Look, there's a whole group. They could all track them and take their points away. Do you see them doing that? No. Why? Because they're point sharing. This is a common tactic, cheating tactic, known by players doing this evolve tactic scams. How do I know? Because it's been made and designed that way to rig battles and to scam players. See that? Designed to rig and scam players. Designed. All right. This is not what he called. Look at my team. Look at where this guy is at. You know what I mean? Everybody waited for me to go over here and then they all died. More cheating scams. More proof. Players helping enemies. Boosting account. Easy to see, guys. Easy to see. Way easy. All meeting up in the same position. They all knew where they were going. All of them. They all knew. Something we don't they don't talk about and they don't say it, but it's true. And so that's why I say that the games are a joke. The games are not going to go nowhere. The game is going to die. And I was trying to warn you all before that of what's going on, but you guys kept on going with your bullshit, playing the game like you own it, rigging the battles like you are the king of it, and you guys are not. You guys ruined a good game, and because of that, letting other players from like the EU and from the Asia giving you false identity in the game tactics when they play with different scenario players and not even to an own region. I mean, they're giving a region of another region tactical moves. Doesn't make sense. I don't see where the proness or the tournament or the skill or the challenge in that is when you're giving away the game of different regions. You know, when we had battles, they weren't. You know, there were these were players that weren't even in the NA server. They were from a different region. They called them a different region. Now they're all teams, apparently. So yeah, how do you explain that? Joodles on my, you know, game console. You could take your percentage and eat it. How about that? Cause that ain't shit. You didn't earn that percentage, buddy. You made that percentage by players helping you. I've always been on my own, always, and still scoring high. Yeah, maybe little when players are not playing, but I'm complaining because players don't have a skill, and I'm calling all the NA server out. Boot out all these fake players that are making the game bad for the NA server. We had a grip. Now we have different players from different servers ruining the game. Come on, buddy, oh pal, buddy. See, obviously, players know exactly where we're at. Let's go. Free points. Free points. Oh yeah, let's just stick to guy. Let's just stick to him like butter. You know. Let's just shoot away. You know. Let's shoot away because we got to spray in the main of Shay. We could say. Look at, and they're still back there, guys. Look at that. Still back there. See that? How do you call this a skilled battle? Look at that. No, I'm not crying. I'm crying of laughter. Because this game does not look skilled, right? Which one's yours?
It doesn't matter.
Wait. All right. I'll have this one
Yeah,
today.
I had one of those anyways.
Oh, you did? All right. Well, I'll take this one.
It was 3 for 5.
To a game company, it falsifies its gameplay, guys. Touche, touche.
Good girl. Hello.
It's funny, man. Look at this. Point sharing with these players. Look at that. Oh man, they're trying to show skill involved, guys, but all this shows is just players is playing ring around the rosy. Oh man, awesome game, wargaming. Hey, how about we call Beetlejuice, huh? Hmm. Two enemies against one. Wow. And they even admitted, guys, on video. You could even see that guy saying the team was a bunch of phonies. They give themselves away all the time. All the time, guys. They give themselves away. And these are either ghost accounts, basically players that already have an account. They're playing on these accounts. That way they can make the percentage a little bit better as they go and play the game, as they play the game. But most likely, guys, like I said, I'm always going to stream the truth. And I don't need backup to do it. I've always been a one man army and always will be. Simplify always, do or die. What makes the grass grow? Blood, baby girls. And all your blood is written all over it. Did you hear that they were telling all families um, from all nations, all the women to get stack up on the women's supply? You know how you guys are talking about the government and all stuff because of the shortage of women's supplies. They're gonna be women are gonna struggle with women's supplies, right? Like tampons and all that shit. But do you know why we're gonna be struggling for that? Because there's too many pussies in this world, and they're gonna be on the rag when the shit goes down. But yeah, excuse my French, guys. Look at that. Not one player helping. Man, let's go show.
You kid.
Let's go tragically squander this guy. See that? All of them. And look at where my team is at, guys. That's some crazy shit, right? And then what did Doodle say? Oh, well, I hope they go. That's why you get bomb rated or so they know. So they actually he admitted that they do that, guys. So, you could see how rigged the game is. Doodles can either send his little Girl Scouts after you and ruin the game while you're playing, which they do. He did admit. That's why you get all those players. He admitted it. He knows it's true. He knows that I get harassed in the game. Even a champion knows that I'm getting harassed in the game because of players that know each other. Hmm.